and you're very welcome to Newcastle West for this evening's Whitebox Properties Limerick Senior Hurling Championship. It is a Group 1 Round 5 meeting between Ballybrown and Kilmallock. My own name is Tom Clancy, and I'm delighted to say I'm joined by James Ryan. We've made the quick hop back west from Rathkeale. Group 2 is now concluded. Group 1 about to conclude, James. Both these sides know what a win will do. That will guarantee a quarter-final. A draw will do the same, but if they're defeated, they could be in a bit of peril as well this evening.
Yeah, I suppose you saw it in the senior B there, Tom, permutations, they can just go anywhere. It's very simple, as you said, for both teams. Go out, win your game. I think you can see it from their warm-ups. They're doing team talks for it. Both teams know, win the game and they're through, and that's the way both teams will be lining up.
Yeah, both teams on 4 points, two draws and a victory for Kilmallock today. Ballybrown with 2 wins. Both teams probably in different performances, even within those games. They'll be looking for a display tonight, get themselves into the next week's quarterfinals, and then see what they can do from there.
Yeah, they're both, as I said at the last game as well, both teams will be ranging themselves up against each other. They both beat Patrickswell, they both got beat by Napier-Sheik, and they both played well against Doon, and like Ballybrown were looking at beat them, and Kilmallock had through with them, so it's all to play for. It's very much like the last game. It could go down to the wire here. The conditions obviously completely different to all the rest of their matches, but look, I suppose Kilmallock have the experience, but Ballybrown have the youth with Colin Coughlin, Aidan O'Connor coming through and starting to be blooded into real good senior club players, so it's going to be very interesting. Yeah,
we'll be back with team news very shortly.
O'Sullivan Centre Clarina, your one-stop shop. From Rooster's Peri Peri to Caramico Pizza, Centre Clarina satisfies every craving. Pamper your pooch at our Wash and Wag station, or grab a coffee at the Creamery Cafe and relax in our seating area. Experience it all at Centre Clarina. Mint Catering, Limerick's trusted provider of fresh, wholesome meals for schools, corporate events, home gatherings and sports teams. 50 years of experience in the catering business, we are committed to creating a diverse range of menus, tailored to suit every occasion. Contact Mint Catering, Bulgadin Castle, Bulgadin, Kilmallock, County Limerick. Phone 063 982 09 or mobile 087 766 4181, or visit us online at mintcatering.ie.
Very welcome back to Newcastle West, and while the sun is shining on the pitch here, the pitch is very heavy due to the rain we've had in the last few days, but thankfully the game does go ahead. Plenty of work been done by the groundsman here to try and release some of the water off the pitch, but Johnny Murphy, the referee, is happy for this game to proceed, and we're going with a 5-10 throw-in, so a slight delay, but we will have the final round of this Whitebox Properties Limerick Senior Hurling Championship, a game that both sides will look to win, but maybe they don't need to win. We will look at the teams. We'll start with Kilmallock, who will be wearing their familiar green with a little bit of white trim, and they're over warming up to our right hand side. So the Kilmallock team, as advertised in the programme, shows just one change. They line up with Conor Hanley-Clark in goals, Dylan O'Brien, Mark O'Loughlin and Aaron Costello are the full backline. Robbie Egan, Kevin O'Donnell and Robbie Hanley the half backline, with Egan captaining the side from wing back. Midfield sees Killian Hayes and Oisin O'Reilly partnered. The half forward line sees Micheál Houlihan, David Wolfe, and 23 is Conor Staunton, with Phelan O'Reilly missing out through injury. The experience of Gavin O'Mahony, Paddy O'Brien will be vital on the inside line, while Shane O'Brien will be their talisman in attack. The Kilmallock side are managed by James Hickey, and we'll take a look now at the Ballybrown side, who in a similar vein wear their familiar white and green colours, the opposite of course of Kilmallock. It's Cian Hederman in goals, Ned Quinn, David Hartnett wearing 19 and Keith Punch continue as in the full back line. Mikey Gavin, Colin Coughlin and James Coughlin, his brother, are the half back line, James wearing number 18. At midfield, Killian Gavin and Lee Doolan will look to reignite their partnership, while the half forward line sees Captain Aidan O'Connor flanked by Ross Kenny and Ross Griffin. The inside line sees Barry Adams, Brian Griffin and the experienced Mikey Kiley. Ballybrown are managed by Galway native Kevin Lally. James, we've seen plenty going on here since we've been here for the last 45-50 minutes. They're very, very soft underfoot conditions, so this is a day for, I suppose, clean striking, accurate shooting. It's not a day to be getting involved in rucks, but invariably there's going to be a lot of that as this game goes on.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Unfortunately, we will be seeing a lot of rucks. If the ball breaks down anyway at all, if there's a miscatch or anything, the ball could potentially get stuck into the ground. It's going to cause a lot of I suppose physicality and stuff like that go on. But look, that's just the nature of the conditions we're playing in. I suppose just bit of psychology with it as well. Ballybrown were out. I'd say they were out before we got notice about the 10-minute delay, and they just stayed out in the Astro here. It was grand to be warming up in the Astro and all that, but they were out for that bit longer. Kilmallock must have got the call before they came out, because they didn't come out as quick. So Ballybrown look have more of a warm-up done. They probably had to tune in a bit more for a bit longer, whether that make a difference or not. But I suppose the one thing I was looking at, Tom, looking at both teams, is the conditions. The more physical team would definitely have an advantage here. When you look at the likes of Mark O'Loughlin, Kevin O'Donnell, other players there, Robbie Egan there, wing back, big players. But look, we saw Ballybrown against Doon, and they weren't lacking in the physicality stakes. So I don't think it's a disadvantage to either team. The conditions in terms of physicality, they're both big, strong teams down the middle and things like that. So yeah, it's going to be interesting, but look, it's not going to be as free-flowing, I would imagine, as the last game we done today, Adair, Newcastle West. So conditions slightly different. Even though the weather is good, the underfoot is soft, and it's going to cause maybe a bit of missed pickups and rucks, as you say.
The sides going through their final paces. I think they're actually lining out now for this one. Johnny Murphy, the very experienced referee from the Glenroot Hurling Club in South Limerick. He's going to look after. So Mikey Brown is his assistant, and I think Joe Mulcahy assisting him on the other side. So it looks to me as if Kilmallock will shoot from left to right as you look at it, and with Ballybrown obviously shooting in the opposite direction as the side swap ends for this throw-in. James, I'll just ask you to call it. I know we're going to be keeping an eye on the Doon game as we go, but who's going to prevail here this evening? Yeah,
look, Graham and Phelan O'Reilly are two big losses for Kilmallock, but Ballybrown were very good against Doon the last day, but I think Doon was just slightly maybe mindset a little bit off. Kilmallock will know they have to win today. I just think that little bit of experience and know-how might get them over the line, but anytime these two teams meet, there's only a puck of a ball between.
Yeah, game on so here in Newcastle West for this Whitebox Properties Limerick Senior Hurling Championship, and immediately it's Kilmallock on possession, but they've turned it over as Ross Griffin, who's grown and grown in this championship, gets on it, strikes it inside, probably was looking for a score, breaks there. Mikey Kiley thought he was on it, but Dylan O'Brien tidies it up, and here is Robbie Egan. Switched to full back in recent weeks, and looks like he's continuing there. Gives it out towards Shane O'Brien. He's being tracked by Mikey Gavin, but O'Brien gathers it, shrugs off his man, bounces it on the turf, does O'Brien, and O'Brien, has he got it? No, I think it's just stayed outside the post. I'm laughing at the fact that he bounced the ball on the turf there. I take a brave man to do that here today, but he hit it for a fair bit of a purpose.
Yeah, and he struggled to just tell the viewers there, struggled to come back up off the ground. I think he's after, which is going to be a massive blow for Kilmallock. I see Gavin O'Mahony going straight in to say, get up, we need you today. Looked like he was actually floating on the ground as well. Everyone else looks a bit, their boots again, his strength and everything there, and Mikey Gavin's in for a tough day if Shane does get back up, but he's definitely after hurting. It's looking like his knee going by what we're seeing there. But look, I'm now stating obviously he's going to be a massive loss for Kilmallock if he has to go off.
Yeah, see there, just a bit of a spray being applied to the upper calf or maybe even the back of the hamstring, but.
And when he was going after he bounced the ball there, just before that, he did tangle legs kind of with Mikey Gavin. Mike Gavin ended up going down, so he could have just given him a knock or something. But
jar or something,
that can often maybe do something to hamstring or whatever. But look, he's getting back up. He's going to be playing on anyway at the moment.
Okay, it looks like he'll try and continue for a minute, but gingerly enough, I suppose, he comes away from it as Cian Hederman gets his hands on the sliotar for the first time this evening. Sending it long, is lost in the sun. Mikey Kiley couldn't see it. Aidan O'Connor though tracked it all the way. Probably a lot of the heavy going is down in that corner of the field. I walked it earlier myself and didn't have the right footwear. Back to Colin Coughlin. Colin Coughlin dispatches it. Where has he got it? He has indeed. Colin Coughlin opens the scoring just inside the 2-minute mark. And Ballybrown up and running, and you just can't give a loose pass like that to a player like Colin Coughlin.
Yeah, Robbie Hanley would be disappointed. He actually had his head up. I'd say he was trying to aim to get it obviously over Colin Coughlin's head to where he was trying to hit it. I'd say it was to Mahal Hoolan, but you can't be giving it to maybe the worst man in the pitch. From a defensive forward point of view, Colin Coughlin's very accurate, as we see, can shoot from range, and that was bread and butter stuff. He was in the middle of the field, and I suppose it is worth noting Ballybrown do have the win, so we'll give Robbie Hanley a bit of credit. Maybe he's still adjusting to the conditions.
Yeah, looking up into that dipping autumnal sun here in West Limerick, as the line ball is won by Ballybrown, cut there nicely by Mikey Gavin, but straight to the spare defender at the back. That's Kevin O'Donnell, and he arrows one in for the pacey Oisin O'Reilly. O'Reilly's going to take on his man. That's Keith Punch. O'Reilly gets it back into his paw. Out of catches now. Made along there by David Hartnett. Chops down, and I'd say David Hartnett is quickly going to be into the referee's notebook. Very, very careless, and I think maybe borderline reckless use of the hurley there by the full back, and it's going to be a free in for Kilmallock.
Yeah, if he didn't actually have the hurley intent down in a chopping manner, he'd have nearly, just look at the replay there, was a little bit of a hip in, but again, Oisín, what a ball, and what Robbie Hanley tried to do, Kevin O'Donnell definitely done there, give a direct dart ball straight to Oisín O'Reilly's hand, but you could see there as the two lads were running there, Keith Punch was trying to follow Oisín O'Reilly. You could see water coming up from the ground, so just tell you how much water is logged in the pitch. But look, Oisín O'Reilly showing his pace even in this weather, and again, David Hartnett just needs to be a little bit more subtle in the attack.
Yeah, Shane O'Brien back to some bit of full health anyway, and he knocks over the free, we're level, and puck out though, read by Micheál Houlihan, pulls on it, knocks it inside to the centre forward, that's David Wolfe, and Wolfe quickly doubles their tally and quickly puts them into the lead for the first time. Not the best of puck-outs, wasn't on the same wavelength as his team, as now Micheál Houlihan is limping away from one as well.
Yeah, Micheál Houlihan limping there as well. Great work right out of half-forward line, and great decision-making, quick thinking on Micheál Houlihan just to flick that to David Wolfe, and a good score, and that's exactly what you want to do. As we said in the last game, against the wind, you want your forwards working hard, and that's exactly how they got the score there.
Puck-out again is won by Kilmallock, and sent up at the other end as David Hartnett eventually gets on it. Hartnett tracked by Gavin O'Mahony, but gets his strike away. Here's Ross Kenny going for the score. That's going to go close, but it's going to go into the paw of goalkeeper Conor Hanley. Clark does very well, releases Aaron Costello, and Costello off his right hand side knocks it up towards James Coughlin. He bats it down and is going to have to try and run onto it himself. Coughlin into plenty of traffic, sends it back to Aidan O'Connor. Oh, the touch was good, but just couldn't bring it into his hand. Aidan O'Connor win a bit of isolation. Aidan O'Connor from just inside the 65, has that gone over? And it has indeed. Aidan O'Connor finds a bit of room, gets the shot away, and that's what he's all about, James. Yeah,
finding a bit of room, but really finding himself in the Senior Hurling Championship as well. We saw it there the last couple of years, but he's really stalwart there. Great strike. Killian Gavin nearly got in his way. He was nearly caught for travelling there and just ducked out of the way, and great composure. Again, when somebody's getting in your way like that, show the composure. Great score.
Shane O'Brien catches the puck out. He's fouled on his way. We're going to come back for the free, are we? The play has been stopped. Oisín O'Reilly thought he was in on goal, does bury it to the net, but the whistle long since gone here in Newcastle West. So we're back for the free. Good take again by Shane O'Brien. The play had temporarily broke down, but frustration for O'Reilly. But you mentioned Aidan O'Connor, 2 goals in 38. That's now 2 goals in 39 in this year's championship. 2-13 of it now from play. So he's been very, very key to Ballybrown's chances in this competition. Key in both those wins that have them on 4 points, as Shane O'Brien looks to nudge the ball back in front here. Decent crowd in from both clubs, and I'm sure plenty of neutrals here, as O'Brien easily enough from his own standards knocks it over the bar.
But again, as you say about Aidan O'Connor, he's looking up the field, and Shane O'Brien is after starting the game every bit as well, constructed that free there that's keeping him off the team. So look, that's the standard you have to get to at the moment to get onto the Limerick team, which is a great thing to say.
Yeah, I suppose competitive men between them and the Limerick panel. It was one swap for the other in the Munster final, and between them they scored 2 goals and 3 points. I think 1-1 for Aidan and 1-2 for Shane off the bench. So they have a big role to play with Limerick over the next few years, as Ballybrown have a line ball, which we saw, I think the last time we were together, James, for Ballybrown match, we saw Aidan O'Connor cut one of these over the bar out in Kilmallock. So
I think it was at the same side as well, which makes a big difference to sideline cut takers. And Ballybrown were trying to take it quick, and Aidan O'Connor stopped him straight away. So his confidence is definitely up, taking this.
He's the captain. He's trying to lead his charges here. Doesn't get the nicest of touches on it, and Robbie Hanley is there to tidy it up for Kilmallock. Gives it to Paddy O'Brien, playing that deeper. Gives it away to James Coughlin. Coughlin takes on his man as he kept it inside that post. He has indeed. Good turnover from James Coughlin, and the wing back is on the scoreboard here, and we're level once again.
Yeah, again, Paddy O'Brien was disappointed with that. It was probably too obvious a pass there. Aaron Costello was running off his shoulder, but again, Ballybrown read it well. Well read out of James Coughlin, a good score.
Here's Killian Hayes, gets it at the second attempt, tracked all the way by the opposite number 8. That's Killian Gavin. Gives it back to Paddy O'Brien. O'Brien puts it on his hurley, gives it to Shane O'Brien. O'Brien from the centre of the field decides to put it inside into a bit of open grass. And chance now for the inside forward for Kilmallock. Has he knocked it over the bar? I think he has. That's the number 11. That's David Wolfe. It's a second for him. Brilliant ball from Shane O'Brien, but Wolfe did very well to get it under his control and knock it over the bar.
Yeah, obviously David Wolfe playing inside. Shane O'Brien's kind of playing inside but coming out. The two of them seem to be switching a bit, and Oisin O'Reilly kind of comes out in as well, so the forwards rotating. But again, second point player, David Wolfe, great score.
Yeah, Ross Griffin has replied at the other end, keeps it inside that post, breaking onto the loose ball. And the number 17, who has really grown, as I said already, in this championship, nicely knocking one over there. And it's you shoot, I shoot, and we're level at 4 apiece.
Yeah, absolutely. And Ross Griffin, as you said, great strike. And we were giving out about conditions early to start the game. It's made no difference to the lead scoring aim once the ball is in hand. The standard's very high, as we see a free given there. The scoring's very high, the striking's very good, and a lot of balls going to hand. And the conditions don't seem to be making a difference to either team at the moment.
Yeah, we'll do our best, as I said, to keep you up to date with the other games in this competition, or this group. As we know, Adair and Monaleen await in the quarterfinals. One, if not both of these sides, will meet them, but they'll want to make sure of their own fate by securing a win here. As Aidan O'Connor midway between his 45 and 65. So, is sending it, just tailing to the right, and that's the first wide of the day for Ballybrown. Yeah, the early going in the Ahan game is Ahan are leading by 4 points to 2. That's being played in Cappamore, so good start for Ahan in a game they must win to prolong their interest in this championship. As Conor Staunton gets under the puck out, knocks it back. Ballybrown tried to swarm through with O'Connor and Doolan. Do they do well? They do indeed. Lee Doolan has turned it over, foraging now for it on the ground himself, but met there by Kevin O'Donnell. And Robbie Egan gets on it, sends it inside. This is Killian Hayes. Oh, lovely touch. Slip from Ross Griffin. I think there was nothing more to it than a slip, as the ball is gone free for Kilmallock.
Yeah, just a tangle of legs there more than anything. Even Johnny Murphy said it was nearly accidental, but a free had to be given there.
Yeah. Ballybrown win it back. Mikey Kiley the target of this long delivery, and chance for them to work it out. As again, once it gets stuck on that turf, it's to be swarmed. Aidan O'Connor does very well. Lovely stick work from O'Connor out on that sideline, though. The shot is, in fact, it's gone inside the post. Stand corrected. Aidan O'Connor, lovely score from him. And as we tick just and bang on the 10 minutes, Ballybrown back in front.
Yeah, maybe it's just my county bias, or we're saying the county players there, but Aidan O'Connor and Shane O'Brien seem to be just floating along the ground there. It's hard to move. They just seem like they're just moving a lot better than everyone out there. Looking really, really sharp, Aidan O'Connor, and great score out of him to get his second point from play.
Ross Griffin gets on it, loses his hurley, kicks it back to his brother Brian, who's vacated full forward. Here's Colin Coughlin, takes on his man. Coughlin does well, gives it into Ross Kenny on the turn. Ross Kenny with grass in front of him, going through on goal. Ross Kenny into the corner, sticks it into the corner of the net, and a big score at this early exchange for Ballybrown, as Ross Kenny puts it in, and brilliant move. Even in these conditions, Ballybrown worked it so neatly.
Yeah, and Ross Kenny done that again against Doon as well. He's after doing against Doon, after doing against Kilmallock there, running off the shoulder when the ball goes straight through. Unbelievable athlete. He's after staying inside the full forward line there now. Unbelievable goal, and the composure there to put it across Conor Hanley with two other defenders back. A fantastic finish, and he's a player that's really blossomed in this year's hurling championship. Ross Kenny, great goal.
Yeah, got the goal against Doon into the top corner the last day, and this one into the bottom corner, as Kilmallock took the strike back. 1-2 without reply now for Ballybrown. Micheál Hoolan sends it down. It's a brilliant work away from Ross Griffin, gives away the line ball. That's a small price to play for a bit of defending like that. Is chance now for the experienced Conor Staunton. This won't rock Kilmallock too much. It's I suppose a sluggish enough few minutes for them, but you know they're very experienced.
The wind isn't overly strong now at the moment, to be fair, but you have to give Kevin Lally credit. Obviously they've got Colin Coughlin and centre back and Aidan O'Connor centre forward, obviously anchoring it, but Ballybrown are very much a sum of all their parts, and the likes of Ross Griffin, they're putting in tackles. They really work hard for each other. We saw it against Doon as we see Ross Griffin again in the middle of the field getting them tackles in.
Lee Doolan there joining him now. Griffin really getting through a lot of work, and another one from him. Flicks it into Barry Adams. Dirty ball to be won here today. Brian Griffin, lovely pick up. Advantage coming. Ballybrown could take this on. Griffin going through, going for a goal, and happily enough, I'm sure, sees it fly over the bar. And Brian Griffin, his brother with the turnover, and the older of the Griffin brothers in this instance, getting on the score sheet. Lovely play from Ballybrown. They're really hungry for this one.
Yeah, and Brian Griffin nearly gave me a commentator's curse. I was just about to say that the ball is starting to stick a bit, is starting to cause into a ruck, and then Brian Griffin goes in with an unbelievable, as you say, one-handed pick up. So nonchalantly just got that ball into the hand first time and nearly created a goal chance. We see Johnny Murphy playing the advantage rule very well the last time and doing it again there. But again, Kilmallock shining light at the moment to Shane O'Brien. Anytime the ball goes in around him, something happens, usually a free, as we just saw there again.
Yeah, it's Colin Coughlin on Shane O'Brien. His advantage was coming before Shane O'Brien threw his inter-county teammate onto the floor. Colin just pleading his innocence, as any good defender would do. James, I'm sure you've been there yourself down the years.
Yeah, but I've seen
you've never committed any fouls, have you?
No, a clean record, no yellows, no reds, no nothing. But even Shane O'Brien, it's his intelligence. You'd nearly swear it was Paddy out there, that an older version. When he gets the ball, he's very hard not to give away a free, because he cuts your line. And that's exactly what happened there. Colin Coughlin's given out, but he held up Shane O'Brien, but Shane O'Brien's able to engineer free that inevitably, which he just done there, usually puts him over.
Yeah, knocks this one wide. So a few minutes now, about 6 minutes without a score for that was wide. So 6 minutes without a score for Kilmallock. Knocked down the other end. Ballybrown trying to get on the loose ball. It's Aidan O'Connor. Lovely pick in the hand pass. Mikey Kiley going for the goal. Oh, low shot. Well watched all the way by Conor Hanley Clark. Probably had enough comfortable distance for him, but that a snapshot was on. Ballybrown were looking to cement their early advantages. Oisin O'Reilly gets on it, met by Ned Quinn, but O'Reilly, as he so often does, uses his pace to get a bit of grass. Takes on Colin Coughlin. Oisin O'Reilly, he's going to go for goal from here, I'm sure. O'Reilly going through off the stick. No, he's been tripped by Ned Quinn, and Johnny Murphy is going to go for a carte bouille here, and we have a bit of housekeeping, I'm sure, for the referee. I'd say it was outside, so it will only be a 20-metre free.
I thought he was going into his umpires there the way he was walking, but he's just going to the side to bring Ned Quinn back. If it was football, he'd be black carded. It'd be a goal scoring opportunity, and I'd say it'd be a penalty. That's what Gavin O'Mahony was saying. Johnny Murphy there was kind of calling for it. I think that's more football rules. To be honest, to Ned Quinn, I'm not all for cynical play or anything, but that was a very clever foul. I know it's not great to have a yellow card, but Oisin O'Reilly was definitely going to pull the trigger there. He was going for goal, so he stopped the goal scoring opportunity, albeit that he has a yellow card now.
Shane O'Brien is going to take the free, and knock it over the bar as they cut the gap back. First score since the 8th minute, and it's O'Brien with the free. So I think Ballybrown will be happy with the net result of all that, but Ned Quinn will want to watch his step as the game goes on. Robbie Hanley brilliantly pulls it out of the sky. He's marked and grappled with, and free out. They've won a lot of puck outs already, have Kilmallock. They're very good under the high ball.
Yeah, the long puck out isn't working for Ballybrown, and it worked for a lot against Doon. I think from a Ballybrown point of view, the most disappointing thing there is a fantastic catch out of Robbie Hanley, some athleticism, but to be very disappointed that nobody went up there from a Ballybrown point of view. It was an easy catch, and then to give away the free afterwards would be a bit disappointing. It was a bit soft, but nonetheless, even though they're not winning that much primary ball, they're winning a lot of secondary ball and working hard.
Yeah, Keith Punch is guilty of, I suppose, playing the hurley. Goes in a bit early on David Wolfe. Wolfe was a little bit, I suppose, cast adrift from his teammates, although they were coming to the break. So another free coming in, and we tick to the 17th minute.
Yeah, I think David Wolfe will be very happy the way things are going at the moment. Keith Punch is having a hard time with him after scoring 2 points in play. After winning a free there again, he's just out and just that yard out in front every time, and he's reading the play. And again, credit to Kilmallock getting the head up and playing into that corner.
So latest score from Cappamore is that Doon have nudged in front 7 points to 6, but that will matter little if whoever wins here, as Shane O'Brien with the free keeps it tight to that post, just goes inside, and he has managed to knock over another one. So we're back to a one-score game and a goal between the sides.
Yeah, and it's just Keane Hedeman's just looking around there to see was there anything shot on, and there wasn't, so he's after going down the middle again.
Yeah, the towering presence of Ross Kenny, I should say, underneath it. And you can see the ball sticking to that turf there, and back into trouble goes Killian Hayes. turned over now. Here's Ross Kenny, shortens the grip. Kenny off his right hand side. Umpires having a good look at it. They like it. And Ross Kenny gets through plenty of work, and when he has the opportunity, he shows plenty of quality in front of the post as well.
Yeah, again, really impressed with Ross Kenny. I think his athleticism, his skill levels, great little strike over the bar there again. And again, from a Ballybrown point of view, Kilmallock's half-back line midfield won the ball again, but again, they had the work rate, got in, won the secondary ball and got a score out of it. So they'll be very happy from that point of view, but they would like to be winning more primary possession from the puck out.
Mikey Gavin receives it off Colin Coughlin, has to quickly get his strike away. Robbie Hanley though is there in the kind of free roll, and Hanley just sees a bit of open grass in front of him, runs onto it. Here's the centre half back Kevin O'Donnell. O'Donnell from a difficult angle. I don't think it's come in enough now. It has gone wide, so that's only 3 wides if my own statistics are correct. Ballybrown quickly away with the puck out. Ball skidding off the surface. Here's Brian Griffin. Great strength from Griffin as Griffin ends up on the turf, carries it through, and eventually he gets his free. I tell you, I'd hate to be the person washing the Ballybrown jerseys, or the Kilmallock ones for that matter, after this Sunday. There's got to be some amount of mud in them, as Brian Griffin ended up on the turf there, but he did very well again to win that ball.
Yeah, and look, I suppose we have to give Keane Hederman great credit there, because when the quick puck out doesn't go right, we'll always give out about the goalie. So it was quick thinking there. I actually don't think it went to the man he wanted it to. I think it actually broke further on. Brian Griffin read it. Again, Ballybrown's management here in front of us felt it should have been a free to start, but he done well to get back up and eventually win it. So great strength out of Brian Griffin again, and another man who had a great game against Doon the last day, and the game kind of changed when he was taken off. So well done, Brian Griffin.
As Aidan O'Connor knocks it over, so I suppose a simple enough free for a man of his skill. And Ballybrown with 2 in a row now, just keeping themselves back in front. As ball worked along here, as in down there's Wolf and Punch going at it again. Wolf again though winning that race. Oh, lovely little roll pick, takes on David Hartnett. Another free coming, and Ballybrown's, I suppose, a couple of defensive players. I'm talking about David Hartnett, Ned Quinn, and maybe Keith Punch. Want to be careful. I suppose they've committed a couple of silly frees, especially in wide areas. Yeah,
but I think Ned Quinn's the only one on yellow. Oh no, David Hartnett actually has a yellow card as well, so they need to be really, really careful. And the kind of pattern of the game so far is Keane Hederman's kind of hitting out the ball, and Kilmallock kind of win it, and then if Ballybrown work really hard, they seem to turn them over. But when they don't turn them over and either ball the Kilmallock are getting in, their full forward line are doing really well. David Wolf mainly and Shane Bryan, they're out in front, and they seem to have the better of their 2 counterparts at the moment.
So, and very tight angle for Shane O'Brien. Umpires though like the look of it. It's straight over the black spot here, and the umpires have to dodge the puddles even themselves to get to the white flag. Now there's
yeah, that was a great free on the sideline, considering he put one wide there. I'd say Johnny Murphy just looking at the scoreboard.
Just correcting the scoreboard here. Yeah, the scoreboard on the ground is incorrect, but it's 1-8 to 7 in favour of Ballybrown. That's the score anyway. Johnny has just confirmed as Robbie Hanley gets onto the break there. Ross Kenny with him for company. Here's Paddy O'Brien, has gone back foraging in the last few minutes, sends it up there to Shane O'Brien. You got it, get too tight to Shane O'Brien. He gets a bit of space in front of him. O'Brien off his left. Umpires having a long look, and they still haven't agreed. Now they have. It has gone to the left and wide. Shane O'Brien thought it was over. I'm sure anyone from Florina thought it was wide, but the net result is a wide. Lee Doolan catches the puck up. Lovely one-handed flick. Gives Colin Coughlin green grass to run into. Doesn't need to though, does he? Maybe. The umpires have decided it's wide, yeah.
I know Colin Coughlin's debating whether that went over or not. So.
Yeah, one at either end in quick succession. Ballybrown 4 to the good. They'll be happy-ish, I think, with their start so far, but maybe left one opportunity or two behind them so far. But Killian Gavin gets on it in the middle of the field off his right hand side. That's going to go very close, but Annie Clark watches it all the way, touches it on the hurley. Uses the AstroTurf the around the goal mouth to good effect. Gives it to Robbie Egan, and Egan will carry it out. It's 40 metres from his own goal. Sends it straight up, looking inside to David Wolf. Again, Wolf looks to have won it, but ends up, he's got it on the turn, and Wolf a little bit off balance. Tried to snap you one over the shoulder, didn't get it right, and another wide for Kilmallock.
Yeah, I'm just watching Kilmallock's tactics there. Robbie Hanley's definitely playing a sweeper role. I don't know who's free for Ballybrown. He's on the world of ball. He seems to be playing as a second centre back in most part. As you see, Lee Doolan.
Yeah, Lee Doolan having a go from the sideline. Yeah, brilliant score. We got 3 the last day against Doon, and Doolan has added another one here.
Yeah, he wanted our shining lights against Doon, and as you said, 3 points in play, but it's his work rate. Apart from that, he's busy around everywhere. He's always loose for a pass like that, and great accuracy there, and a good score considering that a couple of wides from both teams there. That was a good score to settle Ballybrown back into it.
The Easter we see between Doon and the hands is Doon 2 to the good. Lee Doolan confident from the first one, looking for another one. That one though I think has just gone outside the... Oh, it hasn't, it's got inside. 2 from Lee Doolan. Knew where the posts were and knocks another one over. So
yeah, but I'm just watching there. Robbie Hanley is definitely loose for the most part, and that's exactly what Ballybrown need to do, is find their loose man around the middle, because they're not actually playing a sweeper. And in the last 2 instances it was Lee Doolan. That's how you're going to kill Kilmallock, with the tactics they're using. Get Ballybrown spare man the ball and get him to get a shot.
Yeah, Ballybrown management and sideline personnel not happy, but the free has been awarded, as I think it was Oisin O'Reilly just with the loose hurley. Get free coming for Ballybrown, and suddenly 6 up with a chance to go 7 up. They'll be very, I think they're very happy with this 25 minutes or so that they've put together.
Yeah, they'll be very happy. They'll be very happy to work rate. Kilmallock are definitely rotating. As I say, they seem to be playing a sweeper. Ballybrown maybe haven't come to terms with that yet, but I think getting the ball out to Lee Doolan there, and won't be long. Kilmallock will have to go man on man. But Ballybrown will be very happy, but I think Kilmallock will be very happy in the fact that if they get more ball into their full forward line, they're definitely on top inside there. Ballybrown have 2 lads on yellow cards, so Kilmallock just have to win more primary ball and get the ball. I see it and Connor hitting a missile straight between the posts there.
Yeah, brilliant stuff from him. Got one off target earlier in the piece, but that's a rarity. This one is more like what he's up to, and suddenly it's double scores. Lee Doolan looking for 3 in double quick time, and this one though, third time unlucky for him, as tail to the right and wide. But when you're confident, when you're feeling you're in close to that flow state, why not?
Yeah, and he's definitely, we see Ross Kinney coming out the field there, but Lee Doolan seems to be the spare man there as well.
They're just trying to block up the space in front of Shane O'Brien as well, aren't they? That's Shane O'Brien was probably looking for a puck out there, but when a man of the size of Ross Kenny's going to come in front of him, it's going to be a difficult target for Conor Hanley-Clark to pick out. So a switch of play for Ballybrown doesn't work out.
And again, I suppose in the last game we have to say we might have maybe underestimated the wind, and we have to realise that Kilmallock are playing against the wind. So you saw Conor Hanley's puck out there definitely did get held up by the wind a small bit, which made it easier for Ballybrown to intercept, and we saw Adair come out in the second half and the wind completely made a difference. So it'll be interesting how much of an impact the wind has in this game. Yeah,
Aidan O'Connor lovely, keeps his eye on the ball all the way. Green grass in front of him and shortens the grip. It's off target though from Aidan.
And yeah, just even going on the game against Doon the last day, Ballybrown would be very disappointed. That was a point that Aidan O'Connor would get 19 times out of 20, so he'll be disappointed with that. And Ballybrown hit a lot of wides.
Paddy O'Brien, that's going to go close. We'd nearly need Hawkeye. I think that one is outside the post. Indeed it is. Just didn't come in the metre or two it needed, and probably a wise selection of shot there, but didn't execute it as well as he liked. And line ball has gone to Ballybrown.
Yeah, and you asked me at the start of the game who I thought would win, and I still think maybe Kilmallock might have that bit of no or whatever, but David Wolfe just took a pot shot wide there. Paddy O'Brien, it was unlucky now, he was far out against the wind, but he just hit it wide, and they're kind of wides that nearly Kilmallock need to get, considering how I suppose accurate, how well Ballybrown are playing, that they might rue these chances.
So Lee Doolan has taken 2 line balls, and he'll take a third one because Johnny Murphy was not ready and wasn't happy, and now sweeps it down the line. This time Kilmallock through Kevin O'Donnell get on it. It's off the stick of the number 23 last, so it's going to be a white ball in favour of Ballybrown. Aidan O'Connor's jogging over. It's testing conditions out there, and I'm sure whoever wins will have to recharge, as will Monaleen and Adair, who are waiting as well. So whoever gets through, it'll be a quick turnaround to next weekend's quarterfinals.
Yeah, but again, the way the format is, it's kind of two weeks on, a week of football, 2 weeks, so they're not used to the way the championship's gone.
Very true. Aidan O'Connor cuts it inside there. Robbie Egan though gets a stick to it, one-handed, and he knocks it down to Mark O'Loughlin. Not seen much of him in possession in the early in his first half. O'Loughlin though clears his lines, and I think he's given a free as Johnny Murphy where the ball landed. Barry Adams is pleading his innocence. I think maybe just a little bit loose with his blocking attempts, but it's going to be a free. It's a free.
Yeah,
free from where it landed, isn't it?
It's free from where it landed, yeah. And in fairness to Barry Adams, maybe it was a bit loose there. Mark O'Loughlin definitely felt it was, but it was unbelievable work rate in one sense. He just left the hurling a bit long. I'll just tell you how hard Ballybrown are working. It's not easy, I can tell you. It's easy for us to say up here. It's not easy from down there in dim conditions. The ground is soft, and it takes massive amount of, I suppose, psychological work rate as much as physical.
Yeah, Pierce Connery, number 22, is coming on, for Micheál Houlihan. That's the number 10. So I think Micheál picked up a bit of a knock earlier in the piece. Hasn't been overly involved, so his day is done, it would appear. Conor Hanley-Clark with the free, tailing all the time though, and it goes to the right and wide. So
yeah, as you said, Tommy, he actually intercepted the first, I say Keane's first puck out. He flicked it on. His leg hasn't been right since. It's one of them dead legs that he tried to run off, but the game is so stop-start. He was just swelling up, and he's not a great catch.
Yeah, Aidan O'Connor pulls it out of the sky with the short grip as he knocked it over. He has indeed. Aidan O'Connor, it's a simple old game. Sometimes for Ballybrown, get it to their key man, and Aidan O'Connor adds another brilliant stuff. He really has, he has that ball on strings, as I say. At times he knows exactly how to do more or less every skill in this game. Yeah,
well, that's it. It's a simple game. You have the skill set in your locker, and it's a very interesting battle. Robbie Hanley and Aidan O'Connor are now marking each other both. Very good in the air, as we've seen already, but no, as you say, it's a very, very simple game. You can just go up, catch the ball while coming down the air, have the ability to turn in the air, and the flick of the wrist put over the bar. Great
even the short of the grip as well, you know, to make it as easier as it works from there. Yeah, the awareness, exactly. Yeah. So Kilmallock searching for another score. Here's Wolf. He's been very present so far. Colin Coughlin though just tried to pull on the ball, ended up connecting with the man, and it's going to be a free in for Kilmallock. But I tell you, I say it's a simple game. I tell you, if anyone saw me playing junior B, James said no, I wouldn't make it look any bit simple anyway.
Oh, we're all in that boat now.
There's a free coming. So just bring up to speed. June 12 points, Han 9, as they just about hitting half time themselves. As Shane O'Brien from just in front of the 45-metre line knocks one over. And after 4 points in a row for Ballybrown, Shane O'Brien cuts the gap back ever so slightly. Yeah,
again, look, it's kind of a false stat in one way, because the frees are being won by the forwards, but they still only have 6 frees scored for Shane O'Brien. Oh,
Ballybrown coming through. Aidan O'Connor scoops it out to Mikey Kiley. Will he bat it from here? Oh, brilliant finish from Kiley. Conor Hanley-Clark had to come out, and Kiley knew it and decided to play it one-handed. A lovely assist by Aidan O'Connor and a brilliant finish from Mikey Kiley. Suddenly it's a 10-point game.
But again, it nearly reinforces my point. I know it's a go, but they're scoring more freely from play, and Ballybrown, or whether it's Aidan O'Connor catching the ball or laying it off as he's done there, and fantastic skill out of Mikey Kiley there.
Yeah, Shane O'Brien shows his wares in the air once again, catches it, and eventually is fouled. Ballybrown looked to choke, and I suppose choke tackle him. Colin Coughlin's not happy, his brother James is not happy, but Johnny Murphy is giving the free in. The full-time score, for those of you who aren't aware, Napirshick 226, Patrick Swell 214. Kind of a bit of a dead rubber in fairness, but Napirshick topping the group with very close to maximum points. A draw the first day, but 4 wins since. Patrick Swell defeated in all 5 games, as Shane O'Brien is going to knock this one over. You feel it's badly needed now with 10 points between the sides. O'Brien nonchalantly scoops it and knocks it over. We're into stoppage time, as you'll see on your screen there.
But again, if you want to be competing for Liam McCarthy year in, year out, you have to be able to compete in the air, and we're being blessed with some unbelievable fielding there from Robbie Hanley, Aidan O'Connor and Shane O'Brien there in the last instance. It's fantastic to see.
Yeah, it's no mistake that these are some of the most prominent players in the county in recent years, as Kilmallock again win the puck out and they try and work it out. Here's Pierce Connery, played in goals for the Limerick under-20s in recent times. Looks up for Shane O'Brien and once again pulls it out of the air. O'Brien's going to try and make something happen here. Has a look one way, look at the other. Jinks back onto his left. And O'Brien, bullet into the corner. Just sent Colin Coughlin one way, cut back inside. And just when the need was there, they have cut the gap back to 6. And it's Shane O'Brien leading the charge for Kilmallock.
Yeah, David Wolf's done his fair part at the moment, but it's really a one-man show up there. Shane O'Brien, get the ball into him. He's got to beat him, his man. What a time to get the goal just before half-time. But just, you're on about Aidan O'Connor's skill. Shane O'Brien's match on the other side. The ability to win in the air, the turn, the agility then to sidestepping. Where he placed the ball there was actually in the side netting of the goal. Keane Hederman didn't have a hope. No goalie in the country would have a hope to stopping that. So, great goal.
Just final point on that goal. What about division as well? He's soling the ball along. I tell you, if anyone else would be like an egg and spoon, he he was looking up, looking around. What he could see the play happening almost before it happened.
But that's what makes him so good. And Aidan O'Connor's able to do the other side. You're on about awareness. It's they're able to do multiple things all in one go, which is very, very hard to do. They have the coordination, the agility, the balance, everything. And as you said, the foresight to see what's in front of them. So unbelievable goal to see it here live. Some finish. So both goals were actually Mikey Kiley's and Ross Kinney's goal. All goals were fantastic goals there in the first half. And it's been an enjoyable half considering the underfoot conditions. It's been some fantastic skill on shot.
Okay, folks, time for you to grab a cup of tea or whatever your choice is this Saturday evening. We'll be back with the second half very shortly. Ballybrown leading 2-12 to 1-9. We have the right footwear back to Colin Coughlin. Colin Coughlin dispatches it. Where has he got it? He has indeed. Colin Coughlin opens the score.
Keith Punch was trying to follow Oisin O'Reilly. You could see water coming up from the ground. So just tell you how much water is logged in the pitch. But
full health anyway, and he knocks over the freeware level. And the out though, read by Micheál Houlihan. Pulls on it, knocks it inside to the centre forward. That's David Wolfe. And Wolfe quickly just couldn't bring it into his hand. Aidan O'Connor win a bit of isolation. Aidan O'Connor from just inside the 65 has that gone over. And it has indeed. Aidan O'Connor. Decent crowd in from both clubs, and I'm sure plenty of neutrals here as O'Brien easily enough for Robbie Hanley is there to tidy it up for Kilmallock. Gives it to Paddy O'Brien, playing that deeper. Gives it away to James Coughlin. Coughlin takes on his man as he's kept it inside that post. He has indeed, into a bit of open grass, and chance now for the inside forward for Kilmallock. Has he knocked it over the bar? I think he has. That's the number 11. That's David Wolfe. It's a
so the forwards rotating, but again, second point player David Wolfe, great score.
Yeah, Ross Griffin has replied at the other end, keeps it inside that post, breaking onto the loose ball, stuck on that turf that's to be swarmed. Aidan O'Connor does very well. Lovely stick work from O'Connor out on that sideline. Now the shot is, in fact it's gone inside the post, and it loses his early, kicks it back to his brother Brian, who's vacated full forward. Here's Colin Coughlin, takes on his man. Coughlin does well, gives it into Ross Kenny on the turn. Ross Kenny with grass in front of him, going through on goal. Ross Kenny into the Barry Adams. Dirty ball to be won here today. Brian Griffin, lovely pick up, advantage coming. Ballybrown could take this on. Griffin going through, going for a goal, and happily enough, I'm sure, sees it flush in front, 7 points to 6. But that will matter a little if whoever wins here is Shane O'Brien with the free. Keeps it tight to that post. Back into trouble goes Killian Hayes. Turned over now. Here's Ross Kenny, shortens the grip. Kenny off his right hand side. Umpires having a good look at it. They like it. And Ross Kenny.
And another man who had a great game against Doon the last day, and the game kind of changed when he was taken off. So well done, Brian Griffin.
There's Aidan O'Connor. Very tight angle for Shane O'Brien. Umpires though like the look of it. It's straight.
The ball. He seems to be playing as a second centre back in most part. As you see Lee Doolan.
Lee Doolan having a go from the sideline. Yeah, brilliant score. We've got 3 Doolan in the hands. He's doing 2 to the good. Lee Doolan confident from the first one, looking for another one. That one though I think has just gone outside the... it hasn't, it's got inside. 2 from Lee Doolan.
They've Ballybrown have 2 lads on yellow cards, so Kilmallock just have to win more primary ball and get the ball. I see Aidan O'Connor hitting a missile straight. The game is so stop-start. He was just swelling up, and he's not. Great catch.
Yeah, Aidan O'Connor pulls it out of the sky with the short grip as he knocked it over. He has indeed. Aidan O'Connor, it's a simple hitting half-time themselves. As Shane O'Brien from just in front of the 45-metre line knocks one over, back ever so slightly.
Yeah, again, look, it's kind of a false stat in one way because the frees are being won by the forwards, but they still only have 6 frees scored for Shane O'Brien.
Ballybrown coming through. Aidan O'Connor scoops it out to Mikey Kiley. Will he bat it from here? Brilliant finish from Kiley. Shane O'Brien is going to knock this one over, you feel. It's badly needed now with 10 points between the sides. O'Brien walk out and try and work it out. Here's Pierce Connery, played in goals for the Limerick under-20s in recent times. Looks up for Shane O'Brien and once again pulls it out of the air. O'Brien's going to try and make something happen here. Has a look one way, look at the other. Jinks back onto his left, and O'Brien, bullet into the...
O'Sullivan Centre at Clarina, your one-stop shop. From Roosters Peri Peri to Caramico Pizza, Centre at Clarina satisfies every craving. Pamper your pooch at our wash and wag station, or grab a coffee at the Creamery Cafe and relax in our seating area. Experience it all at Centre at Clarina. Mint Catering, Limerick's trusted provider of fresh, wholesome meals for schools, corporate events, home gatherings and sports teams. 50 years of experience in the catering business, we are committed to creating a diverse range of menus, tailored to suit every occasion. Contact Mint Catering, Ballyground Castle, Ballyground, Kilmallock, County Limerick. Phone 063 98209 or mobile 087 766 4181 or visit us online at mintcatering.ie.
You're very welcome back to Newcastle West for the second half of this Whitebox Properties Limerick Senior Hurling Championship. It is Kilmallock and Ballybrown, and as you can see, it is Ballybrown in the ascendancy, 2-12 to 1-9, but a late 1-1 from Shane O'Brien has given a bit of hope to Kilmallock. Now, James, you've played in plenty of teams down the years. I wonder, does that scoreline from Cappamore seep into the dressing room at all, or is that for maybe club officials down here to be worrying about as this game goes on? It's Doon in 12 points to 9 ahead, so as it stands, both these sides are going through in third and fourth.
Yeah, look, I don't know about the players. I can't remember much being told. You're kind of trying to focus on the match and all that stuff from a psychological point of view put you off at half time, but definitely the Minters on the line, the whole lot, and to be getting word in. I think the most important thing from a Kilmallock point of view is Shane O'Brien getting that goal just before to bring it back to 6 points. That would have massively changed the conversation inside the dressing room at half time. It was interesting that Kilmallock were out first. That usually the team that are trailing are usually last out with the paint not left on the walls, but it was actually the opposite way. So which isn't a bad point either from Ballybrown, just to tune them in again. That obviously the talking there, lads, we're only 6 points up. We can see how quick they can come back, and they're going to be up for every battle as we see out there right now.
Yeah, huge battle for the first clean possession of the second half. Ross Kenny thinks he has it. Lee Doolan is going first. He has to kick it away from himself. Very difficult to do anything with it there, as Lee Doolan is pulled on by Kevin O'Donnell, and finally Robbie Hanley gets his paw on it, knocks it up there towards Gavin O'Mahony, and O'Mahony sends it back inside to Mark O'Loughlin, moves it on to the Pierce Connery, or sorry, in fact this is Dylan O'Brien, and O'Brien into Conor Staunton. No changes for either side, as Killian Hayes from the centre of the field puts plenty of loft on it. Has it stayed inside the post? It certainly has. Killian Hayes probably didn't even get to look at the post, but just lofted it up lovely, and it carried beautifully over the bar.
Yeah, I agree with you. He just kind of put it up there. The wind kind of nearly took it on its way, or whatever way he hit it, and he was under pressure. A fantastic score. And Killian Hayes has brought out his good pace. He brought out, as you see, Lee Doolan again. This man, he's got great work rate.
Absolutely, yeah. Lovely little short pass, I should say, into Mikey Kiley. Kiley on his knees, lifts it, gives it to Doolan on the run. Doolan bearing down on goal. Doolan going for the goal into the corner. Lee Doolan. Brilliant stuff from Mikey Kiley. They kind of the 1-2 between them, and Doolan picks out the corner. Brilliant stuff. And all 4 goals have been pinpoint accuracy. Little or nothing the goalkeepers could have done about it.
Right into the corner there again, and Conor Hanley's a good shot stopper. A fantastic strike out of Lee Doolan, and just everything that's good about Ballybrown is inside Lee Doolan. He works, he doesn't leave any ball to the end. He's exactly what every inter-county or club manager trainer wants to see, as we see Paddy O'Brien orchestrating a good free there. Well done. Yeah,
Colin Coughlin, I think, has finally earned his way into the referee's notebook. I don't think there was an awful lot in it, but he did a bit of a loose hurley, catching former Limerick player Paddy O'Brien.
I think it's more persistent foul.
Yeah, maybe 3 fouls maybe now at this stage from him, or maybe
I'd say something I'm very good at myself: persistent giving out after the foul to the referee. It doesn't help either.
Yeah, it doesn't paint the nicest pictures at times, but Shane O'Brien, as he did in the first half, keeping Kilmallock going in this one, keeping them in touch as they moved to a goal in 11. But 3 goals from Ballybrown. They hit 5 in the opening round against the Han. It's certainly something I'd say their team has been encouraged to do. Go for that jugular. Lee Doolan probably could have taken his point. Brilliant from Aidan O'Connor. Pulls it out of the air. Has he put it over? It's going to go close. The umpire, though, has decided that it has gone wide, and Aidan O'Connor remonstrating with the referee, Johnny Murphy, and Johnny Murphy is explaining to him that the decision of him and the umpires is final. He won't be changing his mind.
Really strong as he went over the bar, but the most impressive thing about that catch is when he went up, he caught the ball at its highest point. It was a fantastic catch.
Yeah, brilliant leap out of him in these conditions. Shane O'Brien taking on David Hartnett. O'Brien, not many options in front of him. One of them, though, is David Wolfe inside. Key punch there, a little bit closer now for company. Another one for Wolfe is coming, I think. Yeah, indeed it does. Wolfe off his left, and himself and Shane O'Brien leading that charge for Kilmallock for a lot of this contest. And they've, I suppose, we're kind of as you were at half time, 6 between the sides.
Yeah, and again the Kilmallock forwards are rotating. See Gavin O'Mahony could be wing forward, Paddy O'Brien could be wing forward. The 2 of them are inside in full forward line. Out Shane O'Brien, the way they're lined up, they could be anywhere. So see the ball breaking again for Aidan O'Connor.
Yeah, plenty of time in front of Aidan O'Connor, yet to put it in his hand. I think he's going to do so now. Sends it across to Mikey Kiley. Touch is good. Second one is good. Met by the full back, Robbie Egan. Ballybrown looking for something there, but Kilmallock work it out. Aaron Costello moves it on as the ball is carried out now and sent up into the air by Killian Hayes. Colin Coughlin watching it all the way, and protests aplenty again from the Ballybrown sideline. They're not happy with the early engagement on Colin Coughlin going through that middle. Ross Kenny with him. Lovely roll left from Coughlin. and he goes through the middle. Free is coming in favour of Ballybrown. The helmet comes off. I think it was Colin Coughlin's arm that caught Robbie Hanley. But I tell you, there's a fair bit of physicality to this game as well, isn't there?
Yeah, no, Robbie Egan done really well there to hold Mikey Kiley up, but I just think Aidan O'Connor would have been better served and putting that ball over the bar, because even if Mikey Kiley did win it, even with the flick past Kevin O'Brien, he would have probably only ended up getting a point anyway. So I do think Aidan O'Connor, again, his percentages, he didn't exactly have a week to think about it. It was all split decision stuff. But again, Kilmallock could be very disappointed there. They had the edge with the puck out in the first half. Their half back line was winning a lot of ball. Mark O'Loughlin just went into the back of Robbie Hanley there. It's very rare you see the top four over the last couple of years where two men are going up for the one ball. And again, we're after seeing Ballybrown are actually winning more primary possession from the puck out now. We see Lee Doolan winning the break, which the goal got off, and we see Aidan O'Connor there nearly another goal scoring opportunity. So at the moment, Ballybrown are a lot sharper on the breaking ball, so maybe a tactic should be get the ball to ground, and again, Aidan O'Connor's winning ball in the air as well. So Ballybrown have actually come out against the win the second half, which is exactly what you want, winning ball in the half-forward line, and we'll see Kilmallock making a substitution here.
Yeah, the number 17 is coming in for Kilmallock. That is Stephen Quirk. So we'll just see who makes way, as thankfully Robbie Hanley's okay. Connor Staunton, I think, as he's done in a number of games, probably gets about 2/3 of the way through the contest. He's coming off anyway in this one, and 36 minutes. So Aidan O'Connor hit a wide, as we saw, or one that he contested a few moments ago, but this one is from a free, so a bit more thinking time and a bit more breathing room to hit it. And with 6 in it, this would be another nail in the, I suppose, coffin of Kilmallock. Ballybrown certainly have brought the hunger to this contest. They're looking for a third win in the group phase. Aidan O'Connor keeps it low and keeps it straight over the bar. Brilliant stuff from him, and he punishes that foul from Robbie Hanley.
Yeah, and again, the way he takes the freeze, we talked about this in the last game against Doon. He hits some TJ Reid like, what I call him, low trajectory, and again that just
keeps
arrowed straight between, keeps the wind out of it, yeah. Which actually has died down in the second half.
Shane O'Brien to Killian Hayes, brilliant block from Killian Gavin. The two Killians collide, and here is Gavin again on the ball, knocks it out towards Ross Kenny. Going to try and get on it, does well to pull on the ball up to Mikey Kiley. Kiley with that goal before in the first half tries to pick it, but he's met there by Dylan O'Brien, and a line ball going to Ballybrown. Now, there was the last I had it, there was a point between Ahan and Doon. I'm trying to keep you up to speed with that one, but it could get to the point where if Kilmallock aren't a little bit closer on the scoreboard down the stretch, that, you know, if the other game is tight, things could be a little bit scary for Kilmallock in terms of championship hopes.
Yeah, and again, we said it, and they're after winning another free in, and it's all Ballybrown at the moment. Kilmallock just lost all momentum at the moment. Their body language isn't good around the pitch, and as you say, it was a very simple job for both teams. Win the game today and you're safe. So Kilmallock are going to be, at the moment, they're looking like they're going to be relying on other results, and 17-13, and Ahan won't give up the fight through the whole game, especially against Doon, kind of East rivals, all their life tradition and all that. So it's if this game stays going the way it's going, Kilmallock will be relying on a result from Doon.
So Aidan O'Connor looking to add another one. Appointed captain this season. Johnny Murphy watching it all the way with him. Another sub coming for Kilmallock momentarily. We'll come to that when we have it. But Aidan O'Connor has made it 2 in a row for him and 2 in a row for Ballybrown. So back out to 8 points. They led by as many as 10, as we know, as ball is carried by Dylan O'Brien, though it is met by Killian Gavin. Sends it up there. Mikey Kiley now has come a little bit deeper in this last couple of minutes. Just a little brick flick off to James Coughlin, and Coughlin does well, breaks the tackle, but his clearance is a low one, and it's blocked by the green of Kilmallock. Ballybrown looking to stop them, as Mark O'Loughlin has to go back all the way to David Wolfe. They do well though, work it out to Pierce Connery. Connery on that sideline, as Connery's effort is never going to come in at all, and it's gone to the right and wide.
Yeah, and I just see there, it's very rarely you see it, the whole full forward line for Kilmallock get their hands up in order to get the ball in. I think Kilmallock feel they have the better of Ballybrown's full back line, but it's a very simple game.
Ross Griffin is on it, onto his own break. Griffin off to Barry Adams. Adams looking for a goal into the corner. A 4th goal for Ballybrown, and a 4th goal of the championship for Barry Adams. And you'd certainly feel that Ballybrown are in a super position. 26 points to 15, as you'll see on their screen there. Playing all their hurling really in the second half. Another green flag for them. And Kilmallock now, as James rightly said a few minutes ago, will be keeping an ear and an eye on matters in Cappamore. I'll bring you up to speed on that as Key Punch meets the challenge of Oisin O'Reilly. O'Reilly goes through there. Johnny Murphy waves it away. Two boys are tussling on the floor, and Johnny Murphy has stopped things as Punch and O'Reilly, shall we say, getting to know each other. As the two men are now back to their feet there.
It was a great tackle. It was a great tackle from Key Punch. He stood him up there. It was a great defending, but Oisin Riley obviously took offence to something. Again, I think a bit of frustration. It has to be said, a bit of frustration. He's coming into the Kilmallock game. You can see it kind of breaking out. They're getting frustrated, and we see Kilmallock making another sub there.
Oisin Enright's
coming on there. Looks like he's running towards maybe. Yeah, Paddy O'Brien's coming off the field. So look, Kilmallock's game plan is trying to get the ball into full forward line as quick as they can. The first half did the beat into full back line, but at the moment Ballybrown's half back line are sitting back. Ballybrown's half forward line midfield are working so hard that Kilmallock can't get the ball in there. So I think that's why they're in there for half time for so long. They were getting their tactics right, and they all seem to know their job out there, and it's working really, really well. They're playing Mikey Kiley out in the half forward line as well. They brought him out. So look, their tactics are working at the moment. This ends up in another free out for Ballybrown. There's 10 minutes of the second half gone, and it's Ballybrown that are on top. And another thing is that we already know is the wind has definitely died down, no flag flying, so it's a pure dead kind of a breeze out there.
Oh, a lovely touch from Barry Adams, gives it on to the run of Mikey Kiley. He's going to have a simple score from here. The execution of the skills is top drawer again from Ballybrown, and they move further clear, and that now is, I think that's 1-3 without reply. It's Kilmallock will, as we say, be keeping an eye on matters in Cappamore, because it is an absolute mountain for them to climb in this second half. They're what are they now, 15, 4 goals in arrears, 12 points, as Ballybrown again break the ball through one of their men, and they clear it through Mikey Gavin. Not the greatest clearance though, because Killian Hayes is on it, tries to pick it, tries to roll it again. Killian Gavin is there with him. Lovely little pick up by Ross Kenny, gets his head up to Kenny, shortens the grip, and Kenny is just sending off target. But again, Ballybrown winning those breaks, winning those rucks, and really making it life difficult for Kilmallock. As I say that though, there's a bit of space for Pierce Connery. Connery, full length strike from that sideline. That is tailed well to the left, but probably the first time in a long time a Kilmallock man has its time and space in the ball.
Yeah, I was just about to say it counteracted what I was just about to say. Pierce being all on his own there, but Kilmallock are playing right into Ballybrown's hands here. Their half back line's playing deep, their midfields are playing deep. They've Aidan O'Connor up here in the forwards catching balls, so they're winning primary ball up front with everyone behind the ball. And Kilmallock are trying to beat everyone and get it in, and Ballybrown have the numbers.
Brian Griffin is onto the pass from Aidan O'Connor, met there by Dylan O'Brien. You're doing well now to shake off Brian Griffin from there. Griffin one-handed eventually gets it into his left hand. Griffin decides he's going to have a run at this one off the right hand side. Brian Griffin, has he kept it inside the post? He has indeed. And another one for Ballybrown. They'll be thrilled with this performance as the scoreboard continues to go in their favour.
Yeah, and I'm going to just pick up on that point of a thrilled performance. They should have beaten Doon. They're nearly threw away the game. The Doon people were even saying that to us after the game. So a lot of teams would fold and they'd be disappointed after that. They're after going the opposite way. They're after gaining confidence from a defeat, and they're after saying we need to up our performance, and exactly what they've done so far in this game. 42 minutes in, and I think they'll be delighted to be 28 points to 15 up.
That's for sure. And I think the one flat performance they had so far was round 2 against Kilmallock, where they only had Aidan O'Connor and David Hall with a point, but Aidan O'Connor did all the scoring for them. But now they're all starting to get in the act in attack as Shane O'Brien gets on a key punch, watches that ball all the way, and it gets stuck in the turf. Punch picks it, gives it to Colin Coughlin. Those two men would have been on the winning minor teams in recent season, and 21s for Ballybrown, among a number of players on display here. Again, Ballybrown kind of doing what they want with the ball. Here's James Coughlin. Great to see him back at full health after injury woes last season. Sends it up diagonally though, and Kevin O'Donnell is there for Kilmallock. Looks for Oisin O'Reilly, and O'Reilly tries to pick it, does well to kick it ahead of himself. O'Reilly doing well to catch him from here. Key punch comes out to just stop him, sends it through, and David Hartnett is minding the house for Ballybrown. They've loads of numbers back there. There's a kind of a shortage of men in attack for Kilmallock. Ball up now. Ross Kenny, he's marshalled as he takes his shot off. It's going to go in one-on-one with Brian Griffin. Griffin, Kilgather at the second attempt. Griffin one-handed, flashes it over the bar. And I'll tell you, when things are going for you for Ballybrown, they're going for you. But they're really making chances and starting to take nearly all of them now at this stage.
Yeah, and the biggest worry from Kilmallock point of view is Ballybrown's full back line, which we've nearly cut asunder in the first half, have really come into the game. Key punch there again with an unbelievable tackle. Yeah, stood up O'Reilly, and again Ned Quinn coming out the field there with a lovely dink pass. And again, it's just all too easy for Ballybrown at the moment. They're tactically set up better, their use of the ball is better, and again Brian Griffin has the beating of Dylan O'Brien in there at the moment as well, just his strength and his skill levels left and right, and Risty, a great score there. And Brian Griffin gets his 3rd point from play.
Yeah, Limerick minor player back in 2012, as Oisin O'Reilly just on camera now, is gingerly getting back to his feet. But O'Reilly went racing away, but Ballybrown got the numbers back to deny him, and the latest score we have from the other one is Doon 19 points, a hand 14. So that's good news if you're from Kilmallock, because as it stands, the group will finish with Kilmallock in 4th and Ballybrown in 3rd. But a hand, I'm sure, will look to raise a gallop in the last dozen or so minutes in Cappamore. They're slightly ahead because of our delayed start here, as the ball is arrowed out from the goalkeeper, Hanley Clark. Ballybrown again get on it. Mikey Kiley, the target at his pass, has to put his stick to it. Tries to rise it there. Kilmallock with the numbers to the breakdown this time. This time it's Mark O'Loughlin. And they arrow it out here now to the number 6, Kevin O'Donnell. O'Donnell takes on his man. There's time in front of him. He's out of catches now, so you're going to have to play it off the stick. Just a loopy pass inside there. Lovely stuff from Ned Quinn, as Quinn hits on it. Ballybrown man has gone down off the ball. Referee has stopped the play.
Yeah, but again there with I think Kilmallock, whether they're after getting word in or whatever's after happening, they're starting to play the ball out through the lines, kind of speak. And again, we see Kevin O'Donnell taking on Mikey Kiley there, but Mikey Kiley didn't give up, and then Killian Gavin was in, and Kevin O'Donnell had his 2 catches taken. He had no choice but to hit it blindly in, and again Ned Quinn just ate it up there. So yes, the Ballybrown full back line are after coming into the game unbelievable, but it's great credit to the midfielders, half forward line. They're all working extremely hard, which makes it very hard to get the ball in. And look, everything seems to be working for Ballybrown at the moment. They look like they've the space up front. They look like any of their matchups up front, Ballybrown seem to win it, and Kilmallock look at 6th and 7th at the moment, and there's a free in here, and I don't know what it's for, to be honest.
Yeah, Ross Kenny was the man who ended up on the surface. He was not too plussed by something that Stephen Quirk said or did.
Johnny Murphy's gone in. Umpires now as well. So
who's he calling back here now? This is interesting. Yeah, it is the number 17, Stephen Quirk, who's been called in. So eyes and ears everywhere for Johnny Murphy this evening, and I think he's going to call. Yeah, indeed, he is calling Ross back in there as well. And let's see what happened here. But 4 points the gap now in the other game. A draw, by my calculations, will be enough for a hand. Those two, a hand and Kilmallock, had drawn. Well, what's going on here? And I'm trying to keep an eye. There's a penalty been awarded to a hand. So. Wow, big moments ahead in that one. A hand, 4 down with a penalty to come. We'll keep you abreast of that. But Johnny Murphy has paperwork to do here. Ross Kenny, a yellow, and I think a yellow as well for Stephen Quirk. So I think Tom Morrissey has a big play ahead. And Morrissey, if he can bring it back to a point, well, Shane O'Brien has knocked over that free there, but if Morrissey can knock over the point, it will be a nervy few minutes for Kilmallock, as they make another sub. The number 19 has come in for them. That is Thomas Savage, and wearing the white and yellow helmet, he's coming in for Gavin O'Mahony, I believe. Yeah, it looks like indeed it is Gavin O'Mahony, who I think the anniversary, we were talking about it earlier, Jim Bob, of 20 years. I think he was involved in that minor team that contested an All-Ireland final for Limerick in 2005. So it's a great service to his county and obviously his club as well. So Gavin's day is done, as Tom Morrissey, as far as I can see, has buried the penalty for a hand, as Ballybrown look to refocus their minds. 29 points with the forward 17 against 16, so they're well placed. Shane O'Brien foraging for it. Brian Griffin is there as well, as too is Mark O'Loughlin. Does very well, does O'Loughlin. So 1 point in it in the other one. Kilmallock will be keeping an ear and an eye on that. Ballybrown men tangle. They're looking for a free for one of their own men tangling, but play will continue. Here's Pierce Connery, gives it to O'Reilly. Hand passes it back inside to Mark O'Loughlin. O'Loughlin does well, gives it out to Killian Hayes. Hayes, left-sided, sends it inside. Keith Punch is going to win the race for this one, I think. Tries to gather it, and he does well with David Wolfe. There for company is Oisin Enright. Ballybrown just want to keep it on the surface here. Enright thought he had it. Ned Quinn is there for Ballybrown. Colin Coughlin now on the scene. Kick back to Stephen Quirk. Quirk hand passes it out to the number 19. That's Thomas Savage. Savage first involvement. A lovely score from that sideline. Badly needed one, and the number 19, Thomas Savage, makes an immediate impact to a well taken point.
Yeah, fantastic score. One of the scores of the game on the sideline. A lot of people taking shots from there and put them wide as the game has went on these 49 minutes. But again, Ballybrown's work rate is incredible here. I was watching a few of them there. They were beat. They turn around. They tackle. They get the hurley in. They just put get the hurley in the eyesight of the Kilmallock players. Their work rate is unbelievable. They'll be a hard team to beat when they get to the knockouts if things stay in this manner at the moment.
Yeah, I could nearly say there as Ross Griffin fouls number 19 Thomas Savage again, as we are level in Cappamore. So it's 6 minutes of normal time to go there. It's a level game in Cappamore, so that is not good news if you are from Kilmallock. Those sides drew their game, so there's no head-to-head advantage. It's the scoring difference, which is a factor now.
I know we're saying that it's very simple. Kilmallock have to go out and win the game, but they're kind of playing like a team that think they're through anyway. And I know that might be things that just from a psychological point of view, they're kind of strolling around. Just look, it's not going Kilmallock. It's not going to plan for Kilmallock today at the moment at all.
Yeah, we'll get a check on the scoring difference if we need it at the end, as Shane O'Brien, brilliant score from inside his own half, cuts the gap. Back again, 3 in a row for them, but they're going to need plenty of more of that in the next 10 minutes or so. As Tom Morrissey, as I believe, stands over a free to put a hand in front. Ballybrown work it short. Colin Coughlin arrows it up to Ross Kenny. Decides he's going to let it run to Aidan O'Connor. O'Connor off his left. Is it going to come inside? The umpire is going for the white flag, and once again Aidan O'Connor and Ballybrown a little bit under, I suppose, a recent pressure. Aidan O'Connor is there to answer the call, and another beautiful score for him.
Yeah, unbelievable score.
Shane O'Brien, pulls it out of the air. Shane O'Brien going for the goal, flashes it over the bar. Wanted to go low with it, I think, but did well. Well, they did extremely well to win the aerial tussle, and I'm sure he'll be disappointed with only net a point from that one.
Yeah, and it was up against Nate Quinn there. And Nate Quinn and Key Punch having great second halves, but how good is Shane O'Brien in the air? Unbelievable, and the strength of him. So look, he was disappointed he didn't get a goal from there, but the thing from Kilmallock is they're going to need a few scores from different places. I know they've all tipped in with a few scores to play, but apart from that, it's been all Shane O'Brien.
Lee Brown tried to work it up towards Lee Doolan, as putting loads of pressure on Kevin O'Donnell. As a foul there by Barry Adams, and Kilmallock now starting to play with a bit more impetus. O'Donnell, though, doesn't execute that overly well. A hand or a point to the good, but Adam English stands over free to level it as the ball is arrowed inside to Barry Adams in plenty of isolation. Adams just keeps lightly on his toes, but doesn't get the shot accurately on target. Not an awful lot of wides in the second half, Jim Bob, and even in the conditions, it's a very high scoring game. Yeah,
but even the way the confidence of the Ballybrown players at the moment, I know it might be easy when you're 11 points up, but they're just passing the ball around as if it's a training session. They're playing with way more confidence and composure on the ball.
Pierce Connery, is he going to go for one from here? Connery, he does, and he has sent that to the right and wide, and another missed opportunity. Starting to see a few I suppose faces from the Kilmallock bench. I wonder, they're starting to get whispers through that it is a level game in Cappamore. Yes, we're going to have to keep an eye on that one, but Ballybrown, I think it's fair to say at this point, looking very, very much nailed on for a place in the last 6. They will be playing one of Adair or Monaleen, which the draw will take place on Monday, we're told, as the ball is worked up now through to Thomas Savage, matched there by James Coughlin. Costello lofts it in there. Keith Punch and Shane O'Brien tussling for it. Punched as well. Colin Coughlin there on the recovery, and he can send it up the field, and there's a late, I suppose, flick of Ben. It's probably consistency from Johnny Murphy. Shane O'Brien doesn't agree with it, but it was the very same offence that was pulled on Barry Adams in the first half.
Here, look, you probably look at the game from where you played yourself. I used to play around in the forward midfield, but I'd say any cornerback tuning in here is just so impressed with the way Key Punch is playing at the moment.
He had a very difficult start to the game.
I was just about to say, like, it takes great courage and mindset to maybe have a below standard or get beaten in the first half, to come out and play like that. And Ned Quinn as well, in fairness to him, in the second half, the two of them have really upped their game. I think, as I said already, the half back line has set back and helped them, but Key Punch has had a really, really good second half.
So, tell you, it's going to get very, very interesting if the margin of this game stays in around the 11 or 12 point mark, because on the table there is 11 points before a ball is pucked this evening between Kilmallock and a hand. So if a hand draw, that would become a factor. Aidan O'Connor, though, puts the free in, and of course we do have a tight margin here as the ball is sent wide by Mikey Kiley, and 19 points to 28. Sorry, my maths is poor.
when you're saying about what we said at half time. It's very hard to get that information into a team. So, like Mikey Kiley missing that ball there, he mightn't realise the importance of that wide.
But it's not important to him really in the grand scheme for Kilmallock. Yeah. Kilmallock could be wise just to, maybe they don't need a goal, just a couple of points will do, and maybe need to stop him at the other end as Ross Kenny goes racing through. Is he looking for another green flag? I think sensibly, given the scoreboard, given the time of the game, he knocks over another one, and with it level in the other one, that's a big moment against Kilmallock. So Ballybrown move on to 31.
And again, it's important for viewers to know that the 59 minutes gone into doing a hand
fractionally ahead of our one as well, aren't they? 3 or 4 minutes, or maybe best part of 5. But as it exactly stands at this moment, Kilmallock are out by 1 single point. Ball worked up to their forwards. Colin Coughlin comes surging out with it, gives it to David Hartnett. There's tired bodies all over the field. The ball worked out to Mark O'Loughlin. He's continuing to fight for Kilmallock. They seem to be searching goals. I tell you, if they were to ask me for advice, I would tell them to just start knocking over white flags, because, you know, looks like they're going to lose this game, but can they just lose it by a narrow margin as they make another sub? Shane Dowling, not that Shane Dowling, the Kilmallock Shane Dowling is being introduced, wearing number 20. As
again, it comes back to my point there, Mark Loughlin. If you only realised that scoring difference could come into it there, he needs to tip that ball over the bar. They seem to be going for goals, maybe to make the scoreline look a bit respectable at this stage with 5 minutes to go, unless some drastic comeback can go on, which we can't see with the nature of the two teams' body language, everything out in the field.
Yeah, Darragh Donovan is standing over a free halfway across the county, but Shane O'Brien will be wise to knock this one over the bar. O'Brien with the 65. It has tailed to the left. That could be an important miss. 12 points in it. Draw game in the other one.
It's just, we'll see a sub coming on there.
Luke O'Connor,
Luke O'Connor coming on for Ballybrown, but it's just one of them days for Kilmallock, and everything that can possibly go wrong is going wrong. Even the body language of a few of their subs coming off, they just know it wasn't their day. They're extremely disappointed that, and at the moment it looks like they need Doon to do them a big favour here and get a late point.
Yeah, Keith Punch has made way on the Ballybrown team. Very happy with his innings. As we said, after a challenging start, he grew into the contest, and he has made way. Bit of blood in the jersey, always a good sign. Lee Doolan on the break for Ballybrown. Doolan looking for options. Doolan onto his left-hand side. Has he kept it inside the post? He has not. It has gone to the left and wide. So, big miss there. We're 60 seconds or so over the allotted 60 in the other game. So, I'll have a full time for you momentarily as a hand continue to be level pegging with county champions Doon. Kilmallock will looking for a score at the other end. James Coughlin pulls on it once, then pulls on it a second time. O'Reilly is in there, but Coughlin will come out with it. Good strength from the youngster. Gives it across to David Hartnett. Into traffic though goes Hartnett. Does well to give it to Barry Adams. Tried to a little one-handed flick into his hand. Does well though does Robbie Egan. And Egan has just jarred his knee there, has he?
His ankle
is it? Yeah, gone reaching straight for that left ankle.
Yeah, I think Robbie hurt his knee before, so it's you don't ever like to see a person injured, but you'll be delighted he's looking down his ankle and not his knee. So, I'd say it's going to result in a free. And Barry Adams was unlucky now. I'd say he might have caught him, whatever. There was no intent in it. I'd say it's going to end up being a free for Robbie Egan here. And the last thing Kilmallock need is a fella down to kind of nearly waste time.
We probably haven't stressed it. I mean, the fact that Graham Mulcahy's not here to see him, injuries have played their part. Micheál Hoolan has now obviously gone off injured. They've had a testing enough season so far with injuries.
And Garrod Inright, we presume, because he was on for 1 or 2
yes.
He must be injured as well. So look, maybe that didn't help. Maybe even the psychology coming into the team, and as we just see Doon maybe tipping over a late free, is it?
Yeah, Doon gone in front. We'll come back to that in a second. As the goalkeeper, Conor Hanley-Clark, maybe more important than he might think, knocks over the free. Maybe the message, or the starting to get down to the sideline here for Kilmallock as we tick towards the 60 here. There's 2 points in it for Doon. 23 points to 118 up. That could be enough to keep Kilmallock in the fight, put them into the last 6 next week. They're searching for another score here as Robbie Egan from midway has sent it off target. But with 11 in it here, it is finely poised if a hand, who now have a free, can get level themselves. I tell you, communication on the sideline is very important, because a hand might think they need to go for a goal.
I see a few of them out there now.
In both games now is very important. White flags could be enough here for Kilmallock, as Aidan O'Connor is guilty of, I suppose, touching the helmet.
But even for the nature of this game, Tom, a game that both teams have to win to qualify, the even mood and the energy has gone completely out of the game. Kilmallock's body language, Ballybrown are gone to the stage where they're just going through the motions, and Kilmallock's body language just looks terrible all around the field. But again, Conor Hanley here with another free right in the exact same spot as he put the last one, and he hit the last one absolutely superbly.
Yeah, the free taking exploits of him helped knock Ballybrown out last year in the quarter-final when these sides met. He's knocked over another one, and crucially, they're back inside that 11-point gap. Penalty to a hand in the other one. Wow.
Oh my God.
They dropped the free in around the house. A penalty, 63 minutes and 50 odd seconds gone in that one. 2 points in it. If you have the weekend pass, you may be excused from switching over from us here. Another free against Ballybrown as a penalty. Tom Morrissey has already scored one. And the hand has gone up there from Johnny. I think he's saying 5?
So
not sure.
if a hand score this,
well, there'll be a point up, and that will knock
Kilmallock
out of the championship, no matter what Conor Hanley Clark does here. It was on about scoring difference. That was in the scenario of a draw in that one. So, all-star hurler of a couple of years back, Tom Morrissey is standing over that one. Conor Hanley Clark is looking for a third point in a row here. I see a couple of other people looking at phones around us here. Hanley Clark from inside his own half. Well, I know I'm probably a little bit distracted by the other one, but what a score from Hanley Clark. 3 in a row.
Yeah,
not easy in the conditions.
Beautiful strike of the ball. 3 fair scores there from Conor late on in the game, but it's of little difference. I think the most important thing going on at the moment is the penalty.
Yeah, Doon down to 14 men as well. Still haven't had the penalty taken. It's been 60 odd seconds since it was given. Aidan O'Connor gets on it here, tracked all the way by Kilmallock men. Aidan on the spin, on the pirouette. Oh, please come in. No. Would have been one of the scores of the day.
He actually could have kept going. It was unbelievable skill there. It was
penalty is saved. In the other one, what has happened? The penalty is saved. Is it full time? It is. The penalty has been saved, and a hand are out of the championship. 23 points to 118. I think it's Dara Stapleton in the Doon goal who's blocked it, and Kilmallock can breathe a collective sigh of relief. The last puck of the game, a poorly struck Tom Morrissey penalty. I just had a glimpse of it here on one of our runner monitors. Wow. Kilmallock probably don't know it just yet themselves, but they are into the next round, as are Ballybrown, with that moment of late drama. Your heart goes out to a hand, beaten on that very venue in the minor final last week, very narrowly, and it's Doon who broke their hearts again as the ball is sent up towards the Ballybrown goal, but it has gone to the left and wide. So I suppose what happens here now is insignificant in the last few minutes. These two sides will be in the quarter final next weekend. Wow. That's some drama. And
again, it makes a little difference to Ballybrown because they've come on today and done their job quite comprehensively, and they're really in a good place going into the quarterfinals, as you say.
Yeah, they worked it out here. Luke O'Connor, lovely step from him. Advantage coming for Luke O'Connor. Lovely little jink and feint. Brian Griffin with the build-up play and a free coming, which I'm sure Aidan O'Connor will tap over to put a double-digit margin between them. We're going to be 10 points in the end. So, Johnny Murphy just explaining the decision there. Yeah, the life kind of gone out of this one in the last few minutes. I'd say a lot of people on the sideline were even looking over their shoulders, looking to try and figure out what's going on.
Lackluster is the word. I actually thought it could have been game of the week, really, considering both teams had to win. But look, I've seen Kilmallock come back from this place before, barely getting through the group stage, results kind of going their way, and they actually get into a grand final or even winning it over times.
It's almost like they're heading into a new competition next week, which in theory they are. But
they're looking a long way from that on today's performance. There's going to be serious soul searching going on because it's a team meeting job the way the game went, more than a training session next week. But and the game's blown up.
Yeah, Ballybrown let out the yelp of happiness. They have won this one by 10 points, 420 to 119. Bobby Smith made a late appearance, didn't get overly involved, but Ballybrown are through, and Kilmallock, when the word filters through, they are also through to the next round of the Limerick Senior Hurling Championship. Into the quarterfinals, both of these sides. They'll wait for the draw on Monday. That will see them drawn against Monaleen or Adair. James, Ballybrown worthy winners. I know it turns out that they could have lost this game and still got through, But I suppose they wanted to back up that performance that they had against Doon, and they've backed it up here with a win. And now they're going into the quarterfinals full of belief that they can reach a semi-final.
Yeah, look, as I was saying before the ball was even thrown in, I think Ballybrown and Kilmallock are both in two different positions in terms of, I know Ballybrown, a couple of experienced fellas, but they're a younger team. They haven't been in the quarterfinals, semi-finals as much. I think it's important for Ballybrown to be building and getting better going into the quarterfinals. Kilmallock, as I said, have a bit of soul searching to go, to be very disappointed with the way that result went. Not even the result, I think it's the performance I'm on about. They'll be very disappointed with a lot of their individual performance, but definitely the team collective. So yeah, look, I think Ballybrown, I think it's important for them to win, especially the nature of their defeat against Doon. I think it actually nearly a lot of teams that had knocked the energy out of them at the end of their year, but to be able to get back up on the horse type of speak there for Ballybrown and to come out with that kind of a performance in a do or die game, I think it holds great reward going into their next game, and I think they're in a good place. I think work rate rise and being happy in the camp and training, just by watching what's going on the field, they look like they're in a really, really good place.
Yeah, so the drama was really in the other game. It was a good performance by Ballybrown. Kilmallock, though, will have to reset and go again for next week. But they're still in the hat and still in the hunt for the Whitebox Properties Limerick Senior Hurling Championship. We've one more job for you, James Ryan, after a busy day. Thank you as well for your company on both games. It has been a pleasure, but we have the Michael O'Connell men's man of the match from this game.
Yeah, look, you have to give an honourable mention to Shane O'Brien, obviously, for Kilmallock. There was nearly one-man show there for a while. He was immense now, to be fair to him, and David Wolfe played very well, especially in the first half, 3 points in play. And again, there's a lot of names. Look, when Ballybrown scored 420 and they came out in a game like that, there's obviously going to be a lot of names. So Ross Kenny done very well, Barry Adams chipped in with a good goal, Mikey Kiley done quite well, walked around, plus Aidan O'Connor and Colin Coughlin were immense. But and the two boys, cornerbacks Punch and Quinn, after a poor first half, had unbelievable second halves. But I'm going giving it to, and actually a bit of my decision is even from last week's game as well. Round it has to be said. Round 4 against Doon as well. Lee Doolan, I thought he was immense against Doon, but Dara Donovan just beat him from an unbelievable performance. But again, Lee Doolan today, again scoring 1-2, just busy around the place, breaking ball, linking play, everything that we compliment Ballybrown, and he's kind of the key factor in the middle of it. He's small in stature, big heart, great work rate, so I'm giving it to Lee Doolan. Well
done, Lee Doolan. The Ballybrown number 20 is the man of the match. James, thank you for your company. Thanks to everyone here in Newcastle West for their assistance, and indeed McNeville Park and the other two grounds we had this afternoon. That was namely Clahan and Cappamore. We're going to have the highlights for you in a moment. We'll catch a word from the winning camp in just a moment. So we're back to Colin Coughlin. Colin Coughlin dispatches it. Where has he got it? He has indeed. Colin Coughlin opens the score.
Key Punch was trying to follow Oisin O'Reilly. You could see water coming up from the ground, so just tell you how much water is logged in the pitch. But
full health anyway. He knocks over the free. We're level, and there's puck out though, read by Micheál Houlihan. Pulls on it, knocks it inside to the centre forward. That's David Wolfe, and Wolfe quickly just couldn't bring it into his hand. Aidan O'Connor win a bit of isolation. Aidan O'Connor from just inside the 65 has that gone over. And it has indeed. Aidan O'Connor, decent crowd in from both clubs, and I'm sure plenty of neutrals here, as O'Brien easily enough for Robbie Hanley is there to tidy it up for Kilmallock. Gives it to Paddy O'Brien, playing that deeper. Gives it away to James Coughlin. Coughlin takes on his man as he's kept it inside that post. He has indeed, to have a bit of open grass, and chance now for the inside forward for Kilmallock. Has he knocked it over the bar? I think he has. That's the number 11. That's David Wolfe. It's a second.
So forwards rotating, but again, second point player, David Wolfe, great score.
Yeah, Ross Griffin has replied at the other end, keeps it inside that post, breaking onto the loose ball, stuck on that turf. It's to be swarmed. Aidan O'Connor does very well. Lovely stick work from O'Connor out on that sideline. Though the shot is, in fact, it's gone inside the post. And it loses his hurley, kicks it back to his brother Brian, who's vacated full forward. Here's Colin Coughlin, takes on his man. Coughlin does well, gives it into Ross Kenny on the turn. Ross Kenny with grass in front of him, going through on goal. Ross Kenny into the Barry Adams. Dirty ball to be won here today. Brian Griffin, lovely pick up, advantage coming. Ballybrown could take this on. Griffin going through, going for a goal, and happily enough, I'm sure, sees it fly in front, 7 points to 6. But that will matter little if whoever wins here, as Shane O'Brien with the free keeps it tight to that post. Back into trouble goes Killian Hayes. Turned over now. Here's Ross Kenny, shortens the grip. Kenny off his right hand side. Umpires having a good look at it. They like it. And Ross Kenny,
another man who had a great game against Doon the last day, and the game kind of changed when he was taken off. So well done, Brian Griffin.
is O'Connor.
Pumped.
Very tight angle for Shane O'Brien. Umpires though like the look of it. It's straight.
Whirled the ball. He seems to be playing as a second centre back in most part. As you see Lee Doolan.
Lee Doolan having a go from the sideline. Yeah, brilliant score. We've got 3 Doolan in the hands. He's doing 2 to the good. Lee Doolan confident from the first one, looking for another one. That one though I think has just gone outside the... Oh, it hasn't. It's got inside. 2 from Lee Doolan.
They've Ballybrown have 2 lads in yellow cards, so Kilmallock just have to win more primary ball and get the ball. I see it, and Connor hitting a missile straight. The game is so stop-start, it's just swelling up, and he's not a great catch.
Yeah, Aidan O'Connor pulls it out of the sky with the short grip as he knocked it over. He has indeed. Aidan O'Connor, it's a simple in half-time themselves. It's Shane O'Brien from just in front of the 45-metre line. Knocks one over, ever so slightly. Yeah,
again, look, it's kind of a false start in one way because the frees are being won by the forwards, but they still only have 6 frees scored for Shane O'Brien.
Oh, Ballybrown coming through. Aidan O'Connor scoops it out to Mikey Kiley. Will he bat it from here? Oh, brilliant finish from Kiley. Shane O'Brien is going to knock this one over. You feel it's badly needed now with 10 points between the sides. O'Brien walk out and try and work it out. Here's Pierce Connery, played in goals for the Limerick under-20s in recent times. Looks up for Shane O'Brien and once again pulls it out of the air. O'Brien's going to try and make something happen here. Has a look one way, look at the other. Jinks back onto his left. And O'Brien, bullet into the cup. Changes for either side as Killian Hayes from the centre of the field puts plenty of loft on it. Has it stayed inside the post? It certainly has. Killian Hayes.
And again, this man he's got great work rate.
Absolutely, yeah. Lovely little short pass, I should say, into Mikey Kiley. Kiley on his knees, lifts it, gives it to Doolan on the run. Doolan bearing down on goal. Doolan going for the goal into the corner. Lee Doolan. Yeah, maybe 3 fouls maybe now at this stage from him, or maybe.
I'd say something I'm very good at myself, persistent giving out after the foul to the referee. It doesn't help either.
Not many options in front of him. One of them though is David Wolfe inside. Key punch there, a little bit closer now for company. Another one for Wolfe is coming, I think. Yeah, indeed it does. Wolfe off his left. Of Kilmallock, Ballybrown certainly have brought the hunger to this contest. They're looking for a 3rd win in the group phase. Aidan O'Connor keeps it low and had another one. Appointed captain this season. Johnny Murphy watching it all the way with him. Another sub.
Just see there, it's very rarely you see it. The whole full forward line for Kilmallock at their hands up in order to get the ball in. I think Kilmallock feel they have the better of Ballybrown's full back line, but it's a very simple game.
Ross Griffin is on it, onto his own break. Griffin off to Barry Adams. Adams looking for a goal into the corner.
Fine, so it's a pure dead. Kind of a breeze out there.
Oh, a lovely touch from Barry Adams. Gives it on to the run of Mikey Kiley. He's going to have a simple score from here. The execution of the skills is into his left hand. Griffin decides he's going to have a run at this one. Off the right hand side. Brian Griffin has he kept. Okay, you're very welcome back to Newcastle West, where I'm delighted to say I'm joined by no longer clean Lee Doolan, as Ballybrown have won this one out. Lee, you are the Michael O'Connell Men's Man of the Match. Present you with your award there. Now, you wouldn't have known what was going on in the other things. I've just briefed you there in terms of Han have been very, very unlucky. Tom Marcy scored 1 penalty. He missed another one at the end. I suppose it was paramount for you to look after your own business today, not to be relying on anything else. Get the win and see where that takes you, because you knew a result was what was needed here.
Yeah, it was a strange old week because you kind of leave the camp after training and before training, and everyone around was telling you that a hand wouldn't beat Doon or you'd be fine anyway if you lost. And we knew once we got into camp at training and we got into the rest room today that it was a win, and that's what we needed. And to be honest, all we had to do here today was win and punch our ticket to quarter-final. We did that. So
you had a good performance against Doon, didn't get the result. I suppose you probably got a bit closer to both of these today. Good performance in parts anyway, but you mainly got the result. That's what this championship is all about.
The Doon game was, again, it was a strange few days afterwards because you felt like there was opportunity missed, and I suppose we lingered on the weekend and we got back in Tuesday night and we said, right, put it to bed, and we get our win and we go to a quarter final. And I look forward to drawing out tomorrow night. It's going to be an interesting week. As you can see out there now, the hurling has changed. It's not no longer top of the ground stuff, as you can see by the state of me, but that actually happened in the first 30 seconds along the thing, and of course we had no spare jerseys at half time. But we got the win today, onto the quarter final, and next game, that's how we're thinking.
Yeah, how tough was it out there? I know the conditions kind of speak for themselves, but the game was still quite frantic, still quite fast, still quite physical. I thought it would maybe be an awful lot slower, but in fairness, when you move the ball around, you show what you're about, and I suppose even in the conditions you tried to play your game.
Yeah, like Kilmallock traditionally would be a nice team to move the ball through the lines, and we're trying to develop that running game and catch up with all these top teams and that, and we're doing that lately. We're making small steps every time, and look, it's come together nicely. It's different hurling though. It was very strange even stepping onto the field today. We warmed up in the AstroTurf beside the thing, and then you come out here and you're 3 inches of muck. But no, look, we'll be ready for whatever comes down the line Monday, and we look forward to next weekend.
Yeah, finally, I suppose the quarter final has been a hurdle that you haven't jumped in a long time. It's, I think, 2016 since you got over that. So you know now you need to recharge, reset, and refocus, because you lost to Adair last year. You only narrowly beat Monleen, so they're going to be coming in with a pep in their step as well. I know Monleen didn't win today, but they had their work done. And in the case of Adair, they obviously showed great grit today to come back and get that win.
Yeah, we're under no illusions. We spent a long time blowing Senior B, and we know the quality that's down there. And even when we got out of there, like, we never feared anything coming into the quarter final and top teams. And you can see the results in the last couple of years in the quarter finals. There's nothing in a puck of a ball stuff. But yeah, you mentioned 2016 was the last time. Like, I was only 22 at the time. I'm 31 now. Like, it's, you think they come around every year, but it's been a long time now. So all gearing up for next weekend, and hopefully we can get over the line again. So.
Okay, Lee Doolan is your Mike O'Connell menswear man of the match. Tom Clancy signing off here in Newcastle West. We'll be back next weekend with the quarter-finals. Do stay tuned.
O'Sullivan Centre Clarina, your one-stop shop. From Roosters Peri Peri to Caramico Pizza, Centre Clarina satisfies every craving. Pamper your pooch at our Wash and Wag station, or grab a coffee at the Creamery Cafe and relax in our seating area. Experience it all at Centre Clarina. Mint Catering, Limerick's trusted provider of fresh, wholesome meals for schools, corporate events, home gatherings and sports teams. 50 years of experience in the catering business, we are committed to creating a diverse range of menus, tailored to suit every occasion. Contact Mint Catering, Ballybrowne Castle, Ballybrowne, Kilmallock, County Limerick. Phone 063 982 09 or mobile 087 766 4181, or visit us online at mintcatering.ie.